Guys, we all have some great stories. Well, here's a gentleman that has one of the best. May I present to you Meiko's Horror Stories from the Deli. Meiko.
Before I get started, I'm going to give a little disclaimer. All the stories I'm about to present are true. However, Myers will not confirm nor deny these stories even existed. These stories are exempt from public review and are exempt from review under the Freedom of Information Act. Okay, so how are you doing today?
Better than you!
Of course. Okay, so I work at Myers.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I work for Myers. I'm in the deli. Now, for those of you who work in public service or food service, you know how hard it is to please everybody. It seems like whatever you do isn't good enough. I started at Myers back in November of 2011. And I didn't want to work there, but I needed a job. I had bills to pay, and I had creditors at my door saying, "Give us our money or you will die." So I go and work. So my first day on the job, I'm at the deli counter. This guy comes up, and you know how the Jews usually have a little baseball cap on top of their head? Well, it's so small, and it's towards the back of the head, you really can't see it. So, I don't know if this guy was inebriated or didn't know what he was doing, but he asked for a pound of ham. For those of you who are Jewish, and I'm not, I found out that Jews cannot have pork products because it is an unclean animal. Well, let's say, okay, how do you want that cut, sir? Make it thin. So I start slicing it up on the slicer, and I weigh it out. And I push in the UPL code, and it comes up as ham. The guy just looks at me and says, "What are you doing? I am a turkey, not ham. I am Jewish." Sorry, sir. Sorry. Sign the covenant. I will come up to your house and I'll murder your family. Okay. So I clear up the situation, and then he goes on his way. Next guy comes up. Now, I'm not trying to poke fun at a specific country or a specific habit of a country, but what is it with Russians and vodka?
Yes.
Why is it that whenever you see a Russian, there's either a bottle in his hand or he's passed out with a bottle in his hand? So he comes up to the deli counter and he goes, "I would like to pay for this." Us at Myers, we're not allowed to serve you any alcohol if you're already drunk. So I say, "I'm sorry, sir, but you cannot pay for it here. In fact, we cannot serve you alcohol unless you're already drunk." And I'm reaching out to grab the bottle and take it away from him. And he says, "I'm not drunk." Boom! Bottle hits over, rolls down the counter, lands on the floor. Here's the interesting part. It's a glass Smirnoff bottle. It should break. For some reason, they invented kryptonite in it. It doesn't break. The only thing it does is it cracks. So he looks down and he's like, "Oh, fuck." Picks it up and sees that it's leaking out of one side. So he says, "Goop, goop, 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 goop." So I get on the phone. I'm like, "Okay, I'm calling somebody. Hello, loss prevention? Yes, I have a guy who's drunk over here and is drinking out of a leaking bottle of Smirnoff. Can you come over here and take care of him?" The guy comes over, and the LP comes over. They say, "Sir, we're going to have to take you down to our little office and hold you there because you're stealing." The guy says, "Are you my mother?" That's day one. The next story I'm about to tell you is a real shocker. It is the week before Christmas. Everyone's coming to Myers, getting their hams, getting their turkeys, getting their roast beef, getting their cheeses. getting their rocks off. So we are more stuffed. We are stuffed. We are more stuffed than a husky's tail hole at a career convention. So this lady comes up to the counter, and she's like one among like 5,000. So we're serving people as fast as we can, and it's just not doing it. We're only 30 minutes away from closing the deli, and I make the announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The deli is about to close in 30 minutes. If you do not have a number, please take a number and we shall serve you.
You would figure something like that, people would hear it, right? Wrong. It is now 5 minutes to closing. This lady comes, we are basically almost ready to clear out the entire counter. Almost everybody has been served. Well, almost. Because as soon as the last customer, I think, is gone, we hear one lady come up to the counter, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody. Sorry if this might sound a little bad, but what is it with people of a darker skin tone and IQ and listening and stuff like that? What is it with it? Because as I shout at the top of my lungs saying we're about to close, and this person didn't take a number. So she comes up to the counter and says, "Can I get service?" I'm sorry, did you take a number? No, but can I get service? I didn't know when she walked up to the counter. So I say, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but we're closed. If you come back tomorrow," before I can even finish, she swings her bag over her arm, lands on the glass case. I hear a little tink. And then, complete implosion. The entire glass of the deli counter implodes. Glass goes everywhere, and while I'm dodging shards of deadly glass, she screams at the top of her lungs saying, "I want more meat now! This is discrimination!" I go over to the phone and I say, "LP, yes, we need emergency over here. There's a lady on that has just destroyed the counter. I repeat, she destroyed the counter. Send help." I think the people in the Pentagon heard the call. They sent in SEAL Team 6, the National Guard, the Secret Service, people with guns that I've never seen before, and they swarm the counter and they say, "Lady, you're coming with us. You're being charged with destruction of property." As they're leading her away, she's still screaming, "I will sue Myers! This is discrimination!" That's not even it. That's not it. Now, this last story is one that's probably going to make you smile. It's going to make you cry. I don't know who you are.
Can I get horny?
It's just, again, I apologize if I'm offending anybody, but
You are.
what is it with the blonde hair? Does the blonde hair make you dumber? Okay, there are certain varieties of meat that we serve, but there are certain varieties we don't serve. Don't ask me why. This lady comes up to the counter and she wants what's called boar's head.
Ew.
Boar's head is a brand, not a meat. Boar's head is a very expensive meat. She comes up to the counter and she says, "Do you have any boar's head?" "No, ma'am. The only thing we have that's expensive is Dietz & Watson. Can I get you some Dietz & Watson?" "No, I want some boar's head." "Do you have any boar's head?" "No, ma'am. The only thing we have is Dietz & Watson." "I don't want Dietz & Watson." "Do you have any boar's head?" "No, ma'am. The only thing we have is Dietz & Watson." "Can I get you some Dietz & Watson?" "Do you have any boar's head?" "Ma'am! For the last freaking time, we don't have any boar's head. The only thing we have is Dietz & Watson. Can I get you any?" "Oh, we don't have boar's head." "Well, can I get some Dietz & Watson?" Now, to top this section off, sometimes it's a long night, it's you're tired, and you just say things that you probably wouldn't say if you were sober. Dietz and Watson, we have a piece of meat that at Myers that sells for about $11 a pound. It's called the Dietz and Watson London Broil. Stuff is real good if you can afford the price. This guy, and I apologize again for any offense, but this guy comes up and says, can I get some 1 pound of Dietz and Watson London Broil? It's $11 a pound, sir. Are you sure you can afford it? The guy was black. He gave me the biggest death stare I have ever seen. If he had a gun, he would have shot me there. So I apologize to him and I take out $5. He was happy. That's it for my stop.
Right.